Welcome back inside the Percy Perry Stadium. Welcome back to BC Sports TV. As we have another game in the men's division, it'll be Mexico versus Team Indigenous. Last time these two teams faced off, it went in favor of Team Mexico. 26-19 victory in the opening game between these two yesterday. First shot goes off the crossbar for Team Indigenous, goes back the other way, and Charlie Frattini finds the back of the net for his 19th goal of the tournament. 1-0 for Mexico. Shot in. That one again foiled in tight for Team Indigenous as Frattini looks for his second. Twists one, that goes low on the starting netminder for the Indigenous, Keegan Melanchuk. Meanwhile, at the other end, it'll be Matthew Murakami staring on the offense as we speak. Ball gets knocked loose for a moment, but kept after, and they score. Joshua Russell Bryce finds his first of the tournament. Now Sanchez rips one home quickly. Back in front goes Team Mexico. And why wouldn't it be 2 goals from Charlie Frattini and Josh Sanchez? 18 goals for Frattini coming into this game, now up to 19 and up to 16 now for Sanchez. If the Indigenous have any chance at stopping Team Mexico here, those are the 2 guys they need to find a way to shut down, as the next highest goal total on this team is 5 for each of Bailey Vanachuk and Angel Asensio. Now Diego Hopkins with it. Skips one over to the far side. Lost in the cradle by Vanachuk. Looking for his 6th and denied it there by Melanchuk. Big rebound falls. And a backhand shot from distance. Diego Hopkins gets into the mix. And a penalty on the play to the Indigenous. Couldn't see the number of player who took a seat, but regardless, it will be possession for Mexico. Dakota Christmer vote. Everybody getting a touch here early. Frattini over to Sanchez and puts that one home for his 2nd already. Here come the Indigenous, still shorthanded. Slowed way down. Marcelo Bose backs away. Sends one to the perimeter. Trevon Hunter will have to leave now on an interference call, giving possession back to Mexico. Shot, and there's a save. Melanchuk denies his man with the stick. Tamika Gottfriedson reaching forward, and the goaltender will step out. Matthew Murakami sends one forward. Sanchez backpedaling away. Vanachuk steps into one. A missile goes just wide. Possession back to Team Indigenous. 2 games, 2 losses thus far for the Indigenous. A 26-19 loss to this Team Mexico yesterday, as well as a 28-8 loss to the Canadians late last night. And they still have another matchup on the horizon here as well. But for now, they'll need a stop as Sanchez goes over to the far side. Martinez, Frattini switches hands, shovel feed down to the corner, stopped by Melanchuk in tight. Denying Orzako. Shot, Gottfriedson Can't find the back of the net. Look out as Fertini got bodied. Ball knocked loose, and Martinez picks it up off the turf. Fertini again has a man down low on the crease and just could not quite corral it. Gerardo Vasquez Leon denied on top of the crease, and another penalty on the play will go to the Indigenous. Nathan Grady Sam, I believe. Oh, excuse me, it is Dakota Kreismer Vogt once again. He took the last one and watches on once again. Now Vanachuk from the corner. Ball ends up back at the point to Diego Hopkins. Return feed to him. Skip down to Vanachuk. The lefty's going to work. Shot into the stick of Melanchuk, and a quick feed up over the center line. Hunter gets underneath down to the corner. Spins back, looking for an option. Sees a screen and uses it. One hand on his stick, halfway through the shot clock. Drive, shot, and a beautiful save. Murakami sprawling over to his right, gets a leg out. Keeps this a 3-goal lead in favor of his team. Sanchez finds space near side, still in the power play. That block ricochets all the way back towards Murakami, steps out of his crease. Limited time here with 10 seconds on the shot clock. No, they're going to give him a reset. Pass through, shot stopped. Second chance, 2 straight saves, maybe a third, 3 straight saves. How about it from Keegan Melanchuk? And now the goaltender Murakami steps out to take away the pass. Wide open net, lob towards, and not going to make a mistake from there as Trayvon Hunter gets his 4th goal of the tournament. Makes this just a 2-goal game now. How about that last effort by Melanchuk, though? 3 straight saves, and this one finally gets past him. Diego Hopkins gets his 2nd goal of the game, and the 3-goal lead is restored once again. Got a minute 15 remaining in the opening quarter. Pass goes down low. Shot, a bouncer, short side wide. Murakami will collect. Now Fertini's going to draw a penalty. Into the final minute of the opening quarter. Shot scores, Vanachuk from a sharp angle. Now the Indigenous are going to draw a penalty themselves in the final 30 seconds. So ball will start near the perimeter. Hunter with a goal in this quarter. From way up top, return feed to him. Gets back to the point, skip feed, down low. One more pass, finds Tamika Gottfriedson. Hunter with it, return to Gottfriedson, shot, scores! A heavy one brings a round of applause into the bleachers as the goaltender for Team Mexico fires one towards Melanchuk, who makes one final save to close things out. It's Mexico 6, it's Indigenous 3. And when we come back, we'll bring you second quarter action live from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. All right, just about ready to get back to the action for the start of quarter number 2. Live from Coquitlam, British Columbia. It's the World Lacrosse Super Sixes, and currently watching Mexico with a 6-3 lead over Team Indigenous, who remain on a power play. Looking to cut into this lead bit by bit here. Ball goes high into the air, down to the turf now, and 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Gottfriedson from behind the cage, back to the perimeter. And Hunter had it for a moment, but one hand on his stick, couldn't quite find the handle. Charlie Frattini, Diego Hopkins, and Josh Sanchez, the goal scorers for Team Mexico with 2 goals each. And Bryce Hunter, I believe actually Hunter has 2. As the goal scorers for the Indigenous. Continuing to try to cut into this lead now. So we await the first goal of quarter number 2. Loose ball goes in front of the crease for Team Mexico. Wild swing of some sticks. And that will give possession back to Mexico. Now a penalty coming up on a slash that I believe will go to Andrew Sam, who backpedals his way back into the defensive zone. Now Frattini down to Sanchez. Met by Hunter. A bounce pass goes through down to the turf. Backhand shot attempted, and I believe that's going to be another penalty on the play. And if so, it'll be the 3rd one of the game to Dakota Greismer-Vogt. Slowly marching towards the penalty box now. And so it will be 2 penalties, it looks like, as heard one of the officials yell 5-on-3. And that will be in favor of Mexico. So 2-man advantage. They work it around with a shot stopped. Melanchuk active with his stick once again, and he's been strong in this game despite his team being down by 3. And Frattini clears the zone. Down low. Sanchez skips one back to the point. Martinez near side, and Vanachuk sends that wide and off the fence behind the play. Opportunity now to clear the zone for the Indigenous. As Hunter takes a couple of slashes himself. Backhand shot, scores! What a goal. Trayvon Hunter. Brings some oohs and ahs from the crowd here. The Percy Perry Stadium. Back to even strength, shot save, second chance, and wide. Melanchuk has been busy in this game. A theme that looks to continue here. Now Kevin Hennock. Dishes to his right, shot, low save. Murakami sends that high into the air off of his leg. Gottfriedson digging for it, knocked forward, and interference call will go against Mexico. So a fresh 30 for the Indigenous, and the aforementioned Temeka Gottfriedson will start off the possession in the far side corner. Spins underneath, bounces one off the goaltender. Chalk it up as another save. Matthew Murakami continues his strong play. 42 saves coming into this game for him through 3 games thus far for Team Mexico. He's got an assist as well. Bailey Vanachuk leaves. Shot was blocked. Opportunity for the Indigenous to go the other way on a breakaway if they can find possession and a pass. They do now. Quick pass on a quick whistle. Chance in all alone to cut into the lead again. Fake shot, scores. Big windup from in tight. Sells the goaltender. Jack Henhock reaches back over top. His first of the game. That shot sent wide by Vanachuk again, and a penalty on the play will go to the Indigenous. So now 6-5. There's a couple of quick goals against Team Mexico. Seemed like they had a pretty strong lead just a moment ago, but Indigenous starting to find their footing here despite a handful of penalties already in this game, and now another one. But it looks like 2 penalties on the play actually to the Indigenous, so a 5-on-3 in favor of Team Mexico, and they'll go back for a defensive shift now as the pass deflects high off the stick of Charlie Fertini and out of play. A little bit of a sloppy change against the Indigenous will end that possession a little earlier than they would have planned. One penalized player is out, so a 5-on-4 now. As Vanachuk has his pass deflected down, keeps after it. Sends one to Sanchez behind the net. Five seconds on the shot clock. Sanchez fires one towards the goal. That one goes wide. And back to even strength now as Hunter takes the feed. Pass goes to his left. Shot and a save. Loose ball goes down to the turf. Everybody digging for it. It got sent over to the near side and can't quite save it, so Mexico will take possession back, and Diego Hopkins will start things off. About a minute and a half remaining until halftime. Here's Vanachuk. Sidearm feed over to the far side. Sanchez driving, shoots, a bouncer, goes into the top corner. Give him another one, up to 3 in this game. Make that 18 in the tournament now. Hunter drives, gets another backhand shot off, but moving screen will negate that opportunity. Quick feed to Vanachuk. Full head of steam. Switches hands, shoots, scores. Starting to get a little chippy out there on the field as another goal the other way. Godfredson. And look out as Fertini just avoided that heavy collision. Penalty on the play as well. This is the second meeting between these two teams. Of course, they met in their first game of the tournament yesterday and back underway a little over 24 hours later. Penalty goes to the Indigenous, so a late power play now for Team Mexico and a chance to reclaim that 3-goal lead. Vanachuk at the point. Now into the final 10 seconds until halftime. Pass through and couldn't get the shot off in time. Still with it, a blind shot between the legs, goes wide, and that will bring us to the conclusion of the opening 2 quarters. Mexico leading over Team Indigenous 8-6, and when we return after halftime, we will bring you Second half action. You're watching the World Lacrosse Super Sixes live from Coquitlam, British Columbia on BC Sports TV.
Oh, cool.
Back underway from the World Lacrosse Super Sixes. The Indigenous win first face-off of the second half. That shot goes into the chest protector of Matthew Murakami. Might actually hit him in the hand as he shakes off his right hand following that save. Possession remains in favor of the Indigenous, and now a penalty coming up against Mexico. Sakani Baker drives, dishes, shot, and a goal from Godfreydson. That brings them back within one. The penalized player for the Indigenous looks like he's going to rejoin once play gets back underway, and now a penalty to Mexico. So a power play now for the Indigenous is Nicholas Thomas. Comes out of the box. Godfreydson looking for another. Passes over to Hunter on his right. Skip feed far side. Gets through a couple and big stick save. Murakami reaching out to his left. That'll send Mexico the other way in transition. Pass through, knocked down. Great hands by Hunter. To Took away what could have been a clear-cut opportunity and instead goes back into the offensive zone, spins back and shoots all in one motion off the goaltender and out of play. Possession will remain in favor of the Indigenous. Trying to tie this game for the first time in quite some time. Near side feed, Hunter shopping, finds a target far side. Now Gottfriedson winding, firing, and that one goes wide. Murakami again will step out and look for a feed, finds a target in Vanachuk. So we return to even strength. See how long this even strength lacrosse will continue, however, as there's been a ton of penalties in this game. Low shot, scores. Give another one to Frattini. His hat trick tally. Connie Baker gets the return feed and just places that into the top corner. A perfect pick and roll with Trayvon Hunter. Lead again, cut down to 1. And again, another opportunity to tie this thing up as they cause a turnover and go right back the other way, but a shot sent wide, looking short side and off the mark. Looking for Diego Hopkins, bobbled it. And if nobody picks it up, this should be a 10-second count. Goes out of play and will be Indigenous possession nonetheless. Frattini trying to muscle his way through his man on a defensive shift, and there's the game's tying goal. Back to square one, 9-9 in quarter number 3, and Mexico takes the lead right back. That one leaks through Keegan Melanchuk, and a quick breakout pass picked off as Josh Sanchez clears the center line. One man to beat, tries to go over top. Gottfriedson keeps him at bay. Slide comes over, and a lob feed goes over to the far side now. Offense opening up here in half number 2. Shot, a bouncer off the goaltender and out of play. Possession, Mexico. Christian Martinez. This play gets blown back in. Down to Sanchez. Martinez sets a screen on the other number 7. Sanchez dancing from behind, looking for a wraparound, shovels one into the goaltender. Melanchuk makes a low save once again. Now Gottfriedson, one man to beat, takes the shot off the inside of the ankle of Murakami. Might have to make another save here as Hunter backhands one home. Just inside the post. We have seen some highlight reel tallies in this game, and that is another one. What a way to tie things up again. Back to square one. 10 for Mexico, 10 for Team Indigenous. Sanchez puts his defender on skates. Gets behind the net, 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Couldn't connect with Diego Hopkins. He had hopes of receiving that and firing it all in one motion instead of back over call. Free clear for the Indigenous. Here's Hunter, fresh off that backhand goal a moment ago. Spins back, we've seen this before, gets under, and that time is denied by Murakami. Gets his own rebound, this time on the opposite end. Sends it back to the perimeter. Now down to the corner. Connie Baker. Working his way back to the front of the net. Cradling, muscling one through, scores. Indigenous now up by 1, 11-10, with a little over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. This might actually be their first lead of the game. They've trailed for much of it and got things back to even a couple of times here in the second half, but now found themselves in front of the pack ever so slightly and still on the hunt for their first win of the tournament after a 26-19 loss to Team Mexico yesterday and a 28-8 loss to Canada late last night. Now Andrew Sam. The pass was bobbled, 5 to shoot. Somehow they still have a delayed call coming, reverse, backhand thrown, and that one doesn't make its way on goal. But they will keep possession here as there is a penalty on the play to Mexico. Just waiting to see who the penalized player is. I believe it's Vanachuk who will take a seat now. And Trayvon Hunter will get things underway for the power play. Ian Baker play pass, now near side. Gottfriedson just rips that one wide. That one might have put a hole in the net had it been on target. Now Murakami with a little bit of pressure, sprints away. Has a lane to get over center, but stays on the defensive end. And that one goes off the post. That would have been the second assist of the tournament for Matthew Murakami, the goaltender for Team Mexico, but denied by the bar. And Sanchez will start off the possession, goes in front, and a beautiful save from Melanchuk. Kicks that one aside. Back to even strength. Penalty coming up again to Mexico. Shot scores. Make it a 2-goal lead and another one for Hunter. He had 3 goals coming into this game. Now by my count is up to 4 in this game alone. And his team in front by 2. 12-10. And another penalty on the play to Team Mexico, trying to avoid going to 1-3 in this tournament. And the Indigenous looking for their first lead. Excuse me, first win. Gottfriedson back to Hunter. Far side feed. Shot stopped by the goaltender. Catches that one from in tight. Into the final minute here. Final couple of seconds, actually, and that will bring us to the end of quarter number 3. One more quarter remains, and when we come back, we will bring you the final frame live from Coquitlam. Thanks for joining us on BC Sports TV. Well, just about ready to get back underway here from Percy Perry Stadium. And now we will. If you missed any of that third quarter and stopped watching at the end of the first half, you'd probably think that Mexico is looking to close out with a victory here. But in quarter number 3, the Indigenous turned on their offense, found some more saves, and now find themselves in front 12-10 over Team Mexico. And still some time to work with on the power play. They maintain control. Shot stop. Murakami with his first save of the fourth. Pressure starting to close in. Darts one up. Somehow makes its way over to Sanchez. Shot scores. 5-hole through Melanchuk. Give Diego Hopkins another. Pass on the run, and there's the answer back. Andrew Sam. Right off the bench and right into the offense. 2-goal lead is restored. Bounce shot and a tough save fought off. Melanchuk deflects that high and out of play. Alan Ortiz goes through a couple of defenders. Shot and another save by Melanchuk. Indigenous now looking for their largest lead here as pass looking for Baker. Couldn't quite find the handle. That ends up out of play. Mexico will take possession back, trailing by 2 in the final quarter of action here. Orozco dishes to his right. Vanachuk to Sanchez. Gets underneath of a double team. Ends up behind the cage, looking through the middle. Might just try to wrap this himself. He'll do exactly that and put that one over top of Melanchuk. Lead cut down to 1 once again. Sakani Baker. Comes over top of the screen. Toe drag through to the middle. Scores! Another beauty from the Indigenous, this time Sakani Baker. Gets one off, and Melanchuk plays a little bit of catch there, making another stick save, this time staring down Christian Martinez, who goes back to the defensive end. Now Baker throws a tough bounce pass out of play. Possession will go back to Mexico, trailing by 2 once again. Bit of a stretch of even strength lacrosse. Something we haven't seen too often is Vanachuk goes down over to Sanchez, scores. And speaking of penalty on the play, so now Andrew Sam gets sent off on a yellow card. Actually learned this morning about the card system. Somehow I went the entire day number 1 of this tournament without realizing there were cards being flashed during penalties. Bit of a tough break for me as well, being of the colorblind folks, so the green cards are a little tough to see with the green background to the turf. Quick pass up now, shot, stopped by Murakami. What a save in tight. How did he get that one? Keeps this a 1-goal deficit for his team trying to climb out of, and they'll go back to work on the power play. Vanachuk puts that right into the chest protector of Melanchuk. Both goaltenders putting on a show here. Now another breakaway and another save, Murakami. Not handing out MVPs in this tournament, but give it to him. My goodness. Now Melanchuk will try to match that of his counterpart, and he won't need to as the shot goes wide through the fence. Mexico is able to complete their comeback here. They better thank their lucky stars as well as their netminder. Now Hunter gets through, shot, goes well wide. Murakami, quick up to Vanachuk. Lets that bounce into his legs to maintain possession. One defender to beat. Jab step, gets through, now backpedals away. A backhanded pass. Looking for Sanchez cutting through, and Melanchuk takes it away. Here's Baker. Late change for the Indigenous. Baker thought about the shot. Runs into a double team, gets free of that. Forced into the corner. Now at X. Looking for a passing lane and a target. Shoulders his way through. That'll be moving screen set. And Mexico has a man up on the run, in all alone, looking to tie the game, and they will. Back at square one, 14-14 in the final 2.5 minutes. Shot stopped by Murakami. Each save growing in importance here in the final frame. Sanchez going to take it in alone, and a huge save by Melanchuk, dropping down to a knee. For all the talk we've had about Matthew Murakami in this game, Keegan Melanchuk kept his team within striking distance in the first half of the game and has had some big saves in the second half as well. Shot scores, back in front. Go the Indigenous. I believe that was Sampson firing that home. It's tough to see the numbers from up here, if I'm being honest. Now Vanachuk spins back, shoots, scores. Tied once again. Shot for shot, we will go. Now up to 30 goals in this game total between the two teams. Godfreyson chases it down, one-hand pickup, falls. Back to his knees, and he's going to draw a penalty as the defender wouldn't let him up. Twister pass goes through. Too hot to handle, and now a late power play coming with 1:15 to play. And we'll see who this will go against. We know it'll be Mexico, but who will be the penalized player? And I believe I saw Charlie Fertini take a seat. Somebody delivers some binoculars to the booth. Here's Sakani Baker. Fake pass, sold the defenders, pass across, and a good stick. Gerardo Vasquez-Leon deflects that one high and might have saved a goal. Quick stoppage here as they'll wind down the shot clock. Get it to 16 seconds before they blow it back in. Shot from distance, Murakami takes that one off of his thigh. Stretch feed up, Sanchez catches it. Godfreyson gets back in time. Sanchez gonna go to the goal and scores. Short-handed. Puts Mexico in front by 1. Indigenous still on the power play. Sakani Baker goes one-on-one with his defender, spins underneath, scores, tied again. The Indigenous have just refused to go away in this game. Despite being down in the first half, climbed all the way back and took a lead by as many as 2 until Mexico started to find their footing once again. Back to even strength. Vanachuk going to drive, shoot, and score. Short side pass, Melanchuk. So we get closer and closer to the conclusion of this game. Mexico in front by 1. Final 10 seconds count is on. Baker pass through off the helmet of the cutter, and that will go out of play. Bailey Vanachuk will be credited with the winner in a 17-16 final. A nail biter, and the Indigenous continue to march on looking for their first win of this tournament, and Mexico gets even a 2-2 record. They go 2-0 against the Indigenous through the opening 2 days. What a game. And we got another one just after this one. So it'll be back to the women's division. It'll be Canada versus the Haudenosaunee. And that one will get underway in If I had to guess, probably about 10 minutes time, maybe a little less, but we will step aside for now. We hope you join us for that one. You've been watching the World Lacrosse Super Sixes.